Something is happening.
Welcome back to Books and Clicks, where we discuss the movies and the books that we have thoroughly enjoyed. If you like our content, please don't forget to like the video and subscribe to our channel. Now onto the topic that we are going to discuss today. So today we are going to discuss the classic vampire movie called Salem's Lot, adapted from the famous 1975 novel of the same name, written by none other than Stephen King himself. Salem's Lot was actually not supposed to be a movie. Actually, it was first released as a TV series in 1979 by CBC Broadcast, but later it was re-edited for the theatrical release and various other TV broadcast purposes. Although the version we are going to discuss today or focus will be the Blu-ray version, where the original series was repurposed as a 3-hour-long uninterrupted film. Before delving into the analysis, let's have a look onto the plot quickly. Benmears, the protagonist, is also a novelist by profession who comes to the town of Jerusalem's Lot, or Salem's Lot in short, where he once spent his childhood years. But here we come to know that it's not just the pure nostalgia that leads him back to the place where he spent his entire childhood, but something else, something more deep, and something with more horror in it. Actually, it's very evident to the get-go that some of the strange reason that he's drawn towards this place is none but the Marston House, an old derelict mansion and the center to the town's scary gossips. But Ben is not the only newcomer in the town. There are others, most prominently the new owners of the house, who are also opening a new curio shop, and which has already created some good vibe and hype around the townfolk.
You know how it is with a small town. People don't have that much to do.
Things have really turned into very complicated turn-ups. Some mysterious deaths and disappearances have started to happen around the town, and we'll find out that finally it will be up to Ben and a few other characters in the movie who are actually solely the ones who would find out the mystery. And it seemed that Marston House is supposed to be the center of all the supernatural happenings that have been happening lately. In the original novel, King wanted to reimagine what it'd be like if Dracula came to American countryside. While the novel is the in-depth look into the small sleepy town in Maine, where the characters are the residents and how their mundane everyday lives slowly changes into something else. But to capture all that, even a 3-hour series wasn't enough. Hence, maybe that is the reason for scriptwriter Paul Monash to revolve the story around Benmears. At first, David Soul, who plays the character of Benmears, was a little bit lost, if you ask me, in his role, but gradually he found his footing as Ben. James Mason masterfully plays the role of Mr. Shrieker, a foreigner and apparent secretary to the master of Marston House and also the manager to the new store that is to be opened soon. His facial expression is something different from that of the other characters that we have met so far in the movie. And also, his enigmatic expressions and the way of conversing with the other characters will show that he knows more than he says, and he chooses to say only that is necessary.
This is our retirement, modest, comfortable. We're hoping to build a reputation for ourselves in this area, perhaps throughout New England. Do you think that's possible, Constable?
Apart from that, Bonnie Bedelia, who plays the role of Susan Norton, who will be the romantic interest of Benmears shortly after they meet.
I like you, Ben.
And also, we, the viewers, will fall in love with both of them together. Apart from that, the other important character is the teenage boy called Mark Petrie, played by Lance Kerwin, who would be seen having fun with his friends, having very overtly imaginative ideas about things, and very normal teenager, or adolescents rather, who will turn into a very different personality in the movie later on. And Apart from these characters, the other characters that are worth mentioning are Jason Burke, Mike Grayson, Larry Crockett, Perkins Gillespie, Eva Miller, etc. So that was pretty much the entirety about the characters and the starting details. And now let's jump into what it does good in the movie, the plot and the character building. The movie tries to follow the narrative style and slow pacing of King's novel. It starts with the prologue sequence establishing that Ben and Mark are on the run from something truly terrible. And with the dramatic title card and background music, we are thrown into the event that happened 2 years ago into the titular town in Maine. In the first half of the movie, the narrative can be simplified into 2 major threads: the obsession of benmears with Marston House and the movement and the purpose of Mr. Straker. Like I've mentioned, he has been shown to be a very enigmatic character and also the man with secrets. These 2 threads get entangled with the upcoming events in the second half. The arrival of both the parties initiates the brewing of the plot. Director Tobehooper is very mindful in creating the eerie atmosphere that builds up with the slow pacing. And that pacing helps the movie to make us familiar to its character. Like the real estate agency, Larry Crockett likes to dress up in fine and bright clothes, suits, and tries to project an image of a clean businessman that has an affair with his secretary, Bonnie, who is a married woman. It is also hinted that he pulled some strings for Straker to purchase the house at the store.
Especially you, Mr. Crockett. I've told him already how helpful you've been getting us the house and the store. Oh, yes.
Or Wiesel, for that matter, who spends his time being the local drunk, but keeps his eye open for everything that is happening in the town. Like he's the watching camera with informations loaded. Or Jason Brooke is one of those wholesome old teacher whose classes you will enjoy even if you don't like the subject. Or as the lawkeeper of the town, Constable Perkins is always vigilant and carries a great suspicion towards pretty much everyone, especially if that person is not from the town.
I'm always on duty.
And these little details about the town folks, well, some are shown overtly, openly, and some are hinted in the movie, makes the town alive to us, like very much close to us, which becomes quite effective when the undead starts to infiltrate the world of living. Well, before we proceed further in this review, we are going to discuss the plot in details, which will involve spoilers. We strongly recommend you to come back after watching this absolute classic film. Trust me, you won't regret the experience. The next thing I would like to discuss is the introduction of the evil. As the plot progresses in the movie, it slowly prepares us for the upcoming evil that is going to terrorize the town.
I have a very valuable sideboard, a Hepplewhite, that has to be picked up. It's to be taken to the house.
To me, this is the portion of the movie that I have enjoyed the most, if I have to be honest.
It's cold in here. Yeah. It is moving. Look at it! We're almost there. Now shut up.
Multiple events keep us guessing at the entry point of the evil.
There's somebody up there. Well. Close your eyes, Larry.
The supernatural. When the evil does appear, it does not show itself but brought 2 deaths and 1 disappearance with its arrival, and how it has turned out to be the most gruesome crimes that has happened for decades in this small town. And that's how we get to realize that the town is now cursed, although we are yet to know the nature of it until Ralphie Glick appears in his brother's winter. And which leads us to this iconic, scary moment. I mean, not in just this movie, I guess. It's pretty much one of the most iconic, scary scene I have seen till date in any horror movie. Classic in its own right, this scene gives off the creeps on another level. First, a face faintly appears in the smoke, a boy with a pallid face floating in front of the window, and then a scratching sound on the glass. Like when I'm telling and discussing this right now, it's giving me chills. It is sure to raise the entire, I don't know how to explain it any other way. The glowing, lifeless eyes and the dead smile. I mean, it's whatever it is, it's not human. The little canines on both the sides prove that Danny Glick's little brother has returned to him as a vampire. The inspiration of the floating vampire boys can be seen in later vampire comedy movies like The Lost Boys.
Open the window! You're a vampire! I knew it! I am not! So what are you? The blind nun? I'm your brother, Sammy!
And The Simpsons shows as well.
Come join us, Lisa. It's so cool.
Essence of the horror is the next topic I would like to discuss about this movie. The production design of the movie is very crucial in establishing the heavy atmospheric effect and the foreboding senses of the long, dark night. Even when it's daylight and the sudden gust of wind mixed with eerie soundtrack is enough to give the impression of the uncanny. There is no need to use any shock or jump scares like they use in the movies nowadays. The fear finds its way even through the silent movement. The makeup effect for the vampires, completed with the glowing yellow contact lenses and the sharp canines, has done in the right amount to create a sense of discomfort. On this note, the appearance of Mr. Barlow needs to be mentioned. Contrary to the sleek, charming character in the book, this Barlow is a version of the famous Nosferatu, an ugly beast with humanoid features, but devoid of any speaking ability and other soft natures. His low inhuman growl makes us immediately believe that this is an original vampire, the master, the leader of the undead. That was pretty much everything that I think has done good to the movie. Now let's have a look to the things that was not so good, at least on my perspective. Well, every movie has errors and plot holes, and this is also not an exception, I guess. The first half of the movie maintains all the narrative thread with keeping the pace very consistent. But in the second half, the things suddenly starts to rush in a breakneck speed without getting enough time for the viewers to think and sip in all the things that have been happening. More time was needed, I thought, to understand the vampire infestation on the townfolk, their confusion, their gradual realization, to feel the horror a little bit more. Also, the lack of expression in Susan's father as he helps Ben in uncovering the truth doesn't help that issue at all. But at the same time, there are long shots for a moment, like the unnecessary stretchness to reach the runtime for the second episode in the original series. Ben's obsession with Marston House is never fully explained in the movie. He had seen ghosts when he was a kid.
I think I saw Hubie Marston hanging by his neck.
But then he left the town. The disturbing legends around the town is not enough to answer why Ben returned to his hometown. What brought him back? What called him back? after all these years.
If a house attracts evil men,
Why did it attract me?
Also, in the epilogue, we get the clear clarification that Ben and Mark are being chased by the remaining vampires after the first burn down the town. But what makes me really, uncomfortable, that why, even after knowing the fact that they'd be chased and they're continuously being chased, why did Ben wait for so long in a single place?
We have to go further.
Roger.
I mean, I felt that this scene is clearly set up so that Ben can finally meet the dead Susan.
I love you.
And he can be the one who would free her from this curse.
Yes.
Forever.
A tragic ending to their love story.
Kiss me.
Still, the setup feels a little bit forced and also unexplained. The creep or the jump scare is very effective when vampires appear. But the sudden freeze frame during the actual attack may look dated today, but this can be overlooked also as a sign of time, though. Well, to conclude, I must say that irrespective of all the flaws that I have mentioned above, Salem's Lot is sure to give you chills. The broadcast reviews were largely positive. Over the years, the movie has gained praises for its cinematography, special effects, and atmosphere. Movies like Fright Night, The Lost Boys, and the TV series like Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Midnight Mass, and many others were influenced by Salem's Lot, and it will influence a lot more in future that I'm sure of. So that was pretty much the review for today's video. If you like to add some more information or insight on the movie, you're always welcome to my channel. Please share your views. Also, if you like or hate the movie, eitherwise, please feel free to add up in the comment section. And if you like the video, please do the needful. We'll be coming back with the review of the book of the same. Until then, stay tuned. Love you. Take care.